Just a few days ago, Donald Trump claimed that during the Biden administration, the United States was losing $2 billion a day importing goods from other countries. But thanks to his tariffs, of course, the United States is now making $3 billion a day. So that is, of course, a $5 billion difference. Now, I don't know, because Trump did not explain how we were actually losing $2 billion a day under Biden. But, that doesn't matter, because now we're making $3 billion a day. Everybody wins. Boy, this is great. Except, of course, for the fact that Donald Trump's own Treasury Department and Customs, they've told us that, no, that's actually not even close to the truth. In fact, we're not even making a tenth of that. So the Washington Post decided to dig into this, right? I mean, Trump's own government saying, hey, this guy's not being honest about what the tariffs are bringing in. So the Washington Post did a little fact check, and here is what they found. The monthly Treasury report detailed the tariffs added up to $8.16 billion for the month of March, or $263 million a day. During the Biden administration, we were bringing in $210 million a day. So that's only an increase of $53 million a day, which, yes, seems like a lot of money, but when you're talking about hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars in trade, $53 million a day is peanuts. And it sure as hell isn't anywhere near the $3 billion a day that Donald Trump says we're pulling in. Glenn Kessler with the Washington Post wrote this. We will be generous and assume all of the collections were customs duties. On April 15th, the day after Trump spoke, customs and excise taxes were $250 million. On April 18th, this past Friday, the government collected $323 million. That's an increase, perhaps reflecting some impact from his tariff hike, but it's still almost 1/10 of Trump's $3 billion claim. Trump is peddling two nonsense numbers. First, tariffs are already bringing in $3 billion a year. He's off by a factor of 10. Second, that Biden was losing $2 billion a year. That reflects a misunderstanding of trade, though with profound consequences. Trump is wrong to suggest this money is being collected by countries, and this is the important part. Economists agree that tariffs, essentially a tax on domestic consumption, are paid by importers such as U.S. companies, which in turn pass on most or all of the cost to consumers or producers who may use imported materials in their products, meaning Americans will face higher prices for goods. So that $263 million a day that the country's bringing in, you're paying that. You're paying that in the cost of goods that you purchase, whether it's from the grocery store, from the hardware store, from the car lot, doesn't matter. You're paying that $263 million that Donald Trump is bragging about. Oh, and by the way, when you buy those things, you're also paying a sales tax on them. So you're actually getting taxed twice now on them because of Donald Trump's policies that are barely bringing in more than we were bringing in when Biden was running the show. So, yeah, Trump is lying, as per usual. That shouldn't come as a shock to anyone. The problem is that this fact check is not blowing up all over the news. And it needs to. People need to be made aware of the real numbers and of how much Donald Trump is exaggerating them. Because if they're not, they're going to take his word for it, and they're going to think, oh boy, we're getting rich as a country off this. No, nobody's getting rich, and you're the ones who are getting screwed. Thanks for watching, everybody, and if you're not already, please subscribe to the channel. We got fresh content every day for you. And if you want to follow us across social media, make sure you check out all of the social links that we have posted in the description of this video.